Hello everyone, this is Gage, and as you can tell, I'm going to be doing something a little bit different today. I'm actually going to be doing the commentation of a replay for the official Reforged channel, so I was given the very cool opportunity of doing so I'm very thankful for that, and I hope you guys do enjoy this one. It is a 3 versus 4 good versus evil siege battle on the Dwarven Ruins map, and I have played on this map once before, and I can tell you that it is actually very, very fun, but if it's smaller than a 3v4, it can actually be very difficult just because of how large the settlement is. But as you can tell, it's a huge settlement, and it's actually super fun to play on because of how many different playstyles it is. And unlike a lot of other sieges, it actually is super open, so it can lead to skirmishers being actually a really viable option for attackers a lot of times. But we'll see. Well, I guess we'll have to see if the attackers do decide to do that. But without any further ado, we can go ahead and go into the army compositions, beginning with the defenders. I think we can just kind of do them as one, really. Well, I guess not really, but anyway, new player 195 has a couple units here of the Abrazenim Narduzagar. They're a very elite shock infantry unit. Well, not super elite, but they are still pretty good. He has, I believe, yeah, J-Monster is here as well. He's got 2 units of the Corsair Blackguards. I think everyone has like 3 or 4 units at least of Castamir's Legion. J-Monster has 3 units of the Corsair Pikemen, who are a very cheap pike. However, they are very lightly armored, so you have to be very careful with them and make sure that they do not get skirmished down. All 3 of the players have 1 unit of the Castamir's Rangers, who are going to, of course, be super deadly with their body-piercing arrows in a siege battle. New player here has 1 unit of the Corsair Savages, as well as 3 units of the Corsair Infantry. Here we have got 4 units of his own Castamir's Legion, as well as a Catapult, some Belargear Archers, some Corsairs. I think he has 2 units of the Abrazenim Nardu Bawib, and then down here we've got some Belargear Footmen, protecting some Corsair Pikemen from any incoming arrows, as well as 1 more unit of the Abrazenim Nardu Bawib. And over here we can see the next kind of layer of defense, which is once again going to be 1 unit of the Belargear Footmen protecting 1 unit of the Pikes, so a good combo there with the Shield and Pikes. Another unit of the Cheap Pikes here. I believe there are 2 units of the Numenorean Shield Guard on the field who are a very good spear unit. I believe they have locked morale as well, so these guys will not rout off the field for anything. Clueless has a couple units of Castamir's Legion around here as well. He also has 2 units of the light Corsair Archers, who are not really great, but in a siege battle they should do actually okay because they're not going to be taking too many arrows, unless the attackers actually do manage to get in here very quickly and are able to set up their archers in very good positions. But anyway, we also have a couple more units of the Castamir's Legion rather, as well as the Corsair Archers, and here we have J-Monsters General, that being the Naru and Naru Royal Guard, who are of course a spear bow hybrid. Because they're spears, they're not super great against infantry, but because they are elite spears, they actually can kind of balance it out, but you definitely have to support them. And because they're spears, they actually are very hard to run down with enemy cavalry, and of course, with their bows, they are very deadly. There are also here a couple units of the Belargear Archers, as well as 2 more units of Belargear Archers from Clueless, 2 more units of the Abrazenim Nardu Bawib, another unit of the Castamir's Rangers, this time from J-Monster. We also have some more Belargear Footmen, as well as some Naru and Naru Sentinels, who are a very good, very elite pike, as well as a couple units of the Abrazenim Nardu Tariq, who are a Mason Shield infantry, and they are AP, so they should do very well against all the heavily armored enemies that are on the field today. Also, I should mention that J-Monster is actually going to be doing this replay on his own channel as well, so definitely go and check that out as well. Here we've got the 2nd unit of the Numenorean Shield Guard, some more Castamir's Legion, another unit of Castamir's Rangers, some more Naru and Naru Sentinels, as well as another unit of the Naru and Naru Royal Guard, but I don't think this is where Clueless's general is. I think his general is further up here. We can see, I think there's 2, yeah, he has 2 units of the Corsair Blackguards, another unit here of the Naru and Naru Royal Guard, a couple more units of the Abrazenim Nardu Tariq, another unit of the Naru and Naru Sentinels, and Clueless actually has his general in the unit of the Harbingers of Castamir, which I think is rather interesting because doesn't he also have the... No, he doesn't actually, my bad. But the Harbingers of Castamir are, of course, a very good dual-wielding unit. They inspire fear, and I believe, they inspire fear to their enemies, and I think they inspire courage to their friendlies around them, but I could be totally wrong about that. But anyway, they're a very good infantry unit. However, it is rather interesting to see them be placed as the general's unit, because generally you would want to use guys in a little bit of an aggressive manner. We'll have to see how that works out for him. Over here we also have 2 units of the Crossbow Corsairs from Clueless, and these guys are very lightly armored. It makes them perfect targets for pretty much any archer ever. However, in a siege like this, they should do actually really well, because as long as they're able to fire, they can do an insane amount of damage. And I believe that pretty much does it for the Defender's army, so we can go ahead and go to the first of the attackers, who, I guess we can actually start back here. If I can get back here. We have Gondor being commanded by Lepaka Draconis. I'm probably wrong about that, but anyway, he's got a couple units here of the Gondor archers, who are a kind of middle tier archer. Not horrible, but mainly their best thing about them is they have actually pretty good armor. However, you can see that they don't have any of the armor upgrades, so they will be able to get skirmish down somewhat easier than they would have been otherwise. He also has a couple units here of the Care Andros marksmen. These guys are actually very good, but they're also very expensive. They're kind of close to, I believe, 1,000 florins. I think they're like 950, maybe. But they're actually very good, mainly because they have 6 missile damage, which is something that's not very common at all for Gondor archers. And they actually have 11 melee damage, like, once they pull out their swords. And that's actually super, super insane for most human archers. And that's because they actually pull out two-handed swords. Well, not two of them, but, you know, just they pull out a two-handed sword, which makes them actually very good in melee. He has 4 units of the unupgraded Gondor infantry here, so they should do reasonably well as a support unit, I guess you could say. He also has 2 units of the Citadel Guard Spearmen, who are, of course, an AP Spear. He's got some of the, well, no, 1 unit of the LSR's Vanguard, who are a very, very elite shock infantry unit with a sword. You can see the king version, I guess, or a coordinated version of Aragorn standing right there as the officer. And in his front line, he also has 2 units of the Gondor Spears. And down here, he actually has a very surprising amount of cavalry. He's got 1 unit of the Gandalf's Retinue Bodyguard for the general, as well as 3 units, I think, of the Gondor Cavalry. And I don't know quite why he would bring so much cav as Gondor in a siege battle. Maybe they'd tried it once before and all the defenders had a bunch of cav and sallied out or something. But that will pretty much do it for his army, so we can go ahead and go over here to his closest ally, who is going to be Thorn, commanding the Kingdom of Cardoon. He's got a couple units here of the Minas Tirith Sharpshooters. Not a bad archer unit, and because they have good armor and I believe a shield value, they actually can withstand a lot of arrow fire before they go down. He's got 3 units, I think, of the Minas Tirith Swordsmen, who are not bad sword and shield infantry. They're well armored, but their main weakness is that they do not have a lot of morale, so you do have to be careful with them. He has 1 unit of the Dunedain Captains, who of course inspire, as well as 1 unit of the Wardens of Tern Gorthad, who also inspire, as well as some Tharbad Warhammers, who are an AP shock infantry unit. He also has a surprising amount of pikes in general, actually. He's got 3 units of the Greenwatch Garrison Footmen, and I think this is actually a really interesting choice, because pikes can actually do somewhat well on the attack in some sieges, but on this map, I don't think they're going to do super great, especially not the Greenwatch Garrison Footmen, who have like really low armor values, because they're just going to get picked off like crazy by pretty much every archer out there. However, if they do manage to get in the melee, they should actually do pretty well, especially against all the other pikes that Umbar has actually brought to the field today. But anyway, he also has 1 catapult. He's got 1 unit of the Dunedain commanders in case any enemy cavalry decides to sally out. And for his general, he has 1 unit of the Hearthguard of Amansul, who are actually kind of similar to the Naru Royal Guard, in that they are a spear bow hybrid unit. He also could have some hidden units. I would be very surprised if he did not, but we will see those later in the battle if he does have any. We can go over here to the next army now, which is going to be Eclipse 2500, commanding the army of Dol Amroth. He's got a couple units in the front lines here of the Belfalas Marines. These guys should do very well. Javelins in general do really nicely in sieges. However, he does have to be careful with them that they do not get skirmished down immediately, because that would be a very big waste of money. He's got 1 unit out there in the front here of the civilians, who are not horrible. Well, no, they actually are very horrible, but they're one kind of okay quality, I guess, is that they are AP, but really they're just horrible. They're kind of just here to, I guess, soak up arrow fire. But anyway, he also has 1 trebuchet, which should do pretty well on this open of a siege. It has insane range, of course, but it is incredibly inaccurate, so we'll have to see if it pays off for him. He also has a couple units here of the Chairthar Wardens, who are probably above average spear unit. He's got 3 units of the Edhelm Halberdiers, who are, of course, an AP halberd unit, and they should do quite well. However, they can, of course, get targeted by arrows, and it will generally pay off really well for the archers, just because these guys do not have any shields. And he actually has a surprising amount of spears. He's got 3 units back here of the Tarnostian Guard Spearmen, and I'm not quite sure why he brought so many spearmen. He's brought 5 in a attacking army, which is rather interesting to me, and I think he's actually probably going to struggle quite heavily in the attack because of how many spears he has, mainly because of how bad the mouse against other infantry these spears actually do have. But anyway, back here he's actually got some more hard-hitting units. He's got a couple units of the Black Swan Vanguard, who are of course a mace and shield infantry unit. They are of course AP and should do quite well against most of the heavily armored Umbar forces. He's got 2 units of the Talon Knights, who don't really need much of an explanation. We also have 1 unit of the Haven Guard for his general, and he actually doesn't have any foot archers that I can see right now. He could have a hidden unit of the Nimmerdale Rangers somewhere around here, but we'll have to see them later if he does decide, or if he does have any at all. Over here we can actually see that Laura Cloud Pyro has brought 3 units to the battlefield today. No, I'm just kidding. Most of his army is just hidden. And I actually don't know what he has brought today because this is the first time I'm actually looking at the replay. But we will of course, see what units he does have later. He has a couple units here of the Arthedain Pikes, as well as 1 unit of the Grey Company, who are an insane horse archer unit. And I believe they can actually hide anywhere, but because the general is here, they actually cannot hide. But without any further ado, we can go ahead and start it off. I'm assuming that all that's going to happen here is kind of a lot of artillery fire, at least for the beginning phase, until the attacking allies get here. But we'll have to see. Oh, I do not want on 1.9. You can actually see the civilians rushing forward, interestingly enough. You might just kind of sacrifice them right away, and that's honestly, I think, kind of a mistake, because of the fact that if they are AP, they can do okay, as long as they're supported by something like the Tarnostian Guard. We'll have to see how that works out for him. He could just be moving them forward a little bit. And we'll just take a look here at the settlement. You can see that the defenders have decided to not defend this front ramp right here, which I believe is the only way to attack from, or get into this area right here. But as you can see, once you get past that ramp, which has been left undefended, there are actually 2 ways to go about sieging this area. You can see 1 ramp up this way and 1 ramp over here. It looks like this way is probably the quicker way. I don't know. Either way is really just a super long area, but you can see that there are tons of different positions for archers to take, aim from. So we'll have to see how well the archers really do. Just a ton of the Castamir's Legion here, and that's the thing that I thought was interesting why he brought so many spears, because the Castamir's Legion is just going to tear through units like the Tarnostian Guard. Oh, a couple units of the Dunedain Scouts as well, so it's a surprising amount of cavalry actually from the attackers. These Dunedain Scouts are just okay horse archers. They're slightly better than other human horse archers. I guess you could say. They actually can hide anywhere, which is why we did not see them. This actually is a pretty smart move here, pushing forward here with the horse archers to try to skirmish down some of the pikes right away. However, because they don't have a lot of room to work with, they are going to get targeted pretty much immediately, I would assume, by the defending archers. Looks like 1 went to either front here. You got some Belaguer archers in the front lines here. I think they're actually getting targeted, which that's actually probably completely fine with the defenders, just because the Belaguer archers actually do have a shield value as well as pretty decent armor. So they're actually going to be able to tank a lot of those arrows before going down. The Belaguer archers are going to return fire right there. Oh, these Dunedain Scouts need to be careful. They could... Oh, they're rushing headlong into the stakes. Look at that. I would get closer, but the camera will freak out. But yeah, look at that. Pretty much half the unit just getting taken out by the stakes there. So a really smart move right there from the Abrazenum Nordu Bawib. Or from new player 195, I believe, who put the stakes there. Because that will prevent any more cav from rushing forward at least too close. And then it's going to really nullify, like, the Lancers of Gondor as well, so... Tarnostian Guard moving forward. None of the Arthedain forces have moved forward either. Oh, I take it back. I don't... Go back. Looks like some Hobbitrian arms, or some... Yeah, some Hobbitrian arms have now come out of hiding. These guys are pretty terrible, but they should do, pretty good as cannon fodder anyway. You can see they've got 2-handed weapons, but they're not AP, I believe. Or they could be. I don't ever use them, so I'm not quite sure what their stats, or if they're AP or not. I know their stats are really low, of course, and because of their pretty much 0 armor, they might actually have 0 armor. They're going to get just destroyed by any skirmish fire whatsoever. So sending them in first might not be the greatest idea. They are cheap, which is good at least. Yeah, the Dunedain Scouts not faring too well against the foot archers of J-Monster here. There's some more Corsair archers coming forward as well in support. Let's see how the other unit's doing. It might have actually routed. Yeah, they did rout. Maybe they tried to go once more past the stakes and just ran straight into them. We were able to get a couple volleys off, it looks like, on the pikes, but with the Belaguer footmen there, the pikes are not going to take very many losses at all. Tarnostian Guard and yes, the Hobbitrian arms are moving forward. Actually, the Tarnostian Guard stopped just shy. Ooh, but over here you can see Eclipse 2500 has moved his trebuchet into a really nice position, actually. He's going to try to just lob the missiles straight over these open areas and just try to target those blobs of forces. Unfortunately missing the pike block here, but he may have hit some stuff in the back. Yes, in fact, he was able to hit a few of those Castamir's Legion of J-Monster. Most of them are in loose formation, however, so they should do okay, but honestly, right here, this is a really nice target here for the Trebuchet, just because of how blobbed up these forces are. Ooh, narrowly missing there. That's the one bad thing about the Trebuchet. Oh, not the only bad thing about the Trebuchet, but it is super inaccurate. However, it does of course have insane range. But it is expensive. I think it's like 1,200 florins, so it actually is super pricey. Oh, yeah, I think the Hobbitry arms are starting to take arrows now. Looks like it. So yeah, because they've got 0 armor, or I think they have 0 armor, they're going to take a ton of losses, even to the low-tier Corsair archers. However, if they go into loose formation, they could do a pretty decent job of wasting ammo, seeing as light or lower-tier archers have lost a bit of their ammo. They still have a good amount, but not as much as before, making them not quite so cost-effective, but they are still, of course, are very good for what they cost. Oof, yeah, just firing straight into the hobbits, who it looks like cannot hide here anyway. Wait, does he have 3 units of hobbits? 141. No, he just... Yeah, I think he just has 2. Okay, good. I was going to say, does he have 3 hobbitry and arms? That they capped it 2. Over here you can see the Tarnostian Guard moving forward now. These guys' shields and armor should serve them pretty well against the skirmish fire should any archers decide to shoot at them, but I don't think they're going to be getting shot at because of their shields. They're actually going to shield wall, it looks like, interestingly enough. Actually, looking back, these spears will do a pretty good job of pushing, because I believe all of these spears that Dolarmouth brought do have shield wall. So as long as he actually has infantry support from Arthedain and his other allies, his spears actually could do pretty good at pushing through the pike blocks. I did not actually think of that until just now. You can see he's moving forward with most of his army here. The catapults might have actually a pretty decent shot here into all of these elites, because there are a ton of elites kind of blobbed up here, and because they're not in loose formation, you could get some lucky hits off. Trebuchet is still firing. We will go over here again. Tarnostian Guard going back into loose. The Hobbitry and arms are still getting shot to death. Actually, maybe not. Because yeah, the hobbits aren't going to do wonders in melee, so I don't think I would really worry about wasting ammo on them, especially now that they are in loose formation. Trebuchet still missing the pike block, unfortunately, for the attackers. Looks like Cardolin is getting closer to coming over here. He's got his own Dunedain Rangers, as you can see. Of course, a body-piercing archer unit. Should do very well against the lightly armored Corsair pikes. But against the other units, I don't think they're going to do too well. The cavalry is protecting the catapult over here, and then we can see Gondor way over here with all of his cavalry. And whoa, his infantry is really blobbed up, but I don't think any of the defending catapults are in range. So unfortunately, we're not going to be able to see any good hits there, or at least just yet. This might be kind of the slow part where the attackers are just, the attackers are just kind of trying to wait. Oh! Actually, it looks like there was an okay hit right here on the Belagir footman. Not great, but it still did okay. Honestly, the Numenoran Shield Guard are a super good spear unit, mostly because of their locked morale, and because they've got shield wall and some really nice stats. They actually make out to be some really excellent spears. Oh, looks like the Belagir footmen are actually using fire ammo now on the Dunedain scouts. Going to try to rout them because they are so low in numbers. It looks like they're not going to rout, though, just because they have so many allies around them. Which maybe it's the Corsair archers that are using fire ammo. Ooh, yeah, you can see the Corsair archers getting targeted by the only 7 scouts are actually taking quite a few losses. Oh, and look at this. This is going to actually be very bad, because I did not... Yeah, apparently the attackers can actually rush forward through this hill right here, which is actually going to be very bad for the defenders, because that means they're going to have to pull away one of their infantry, or a few of their infantry units to defend their archers here. Because if they leave their archers here, of course, they're going to just get butchered by any of the attacking infantry, which is going to be very bad, because this is, of course, a very good position to fire from with any archer, really. You can see the Hobbitry and arms actually might be wanting to take a chunk out of these Corsair archers and Belagir archers here. Belerigear archers are going to pull back now. Civilians, Tarnosian Guard are going to go to the other gate, or not gate, but really ramp. Yeah, looks like the Hobbitry Arms going to try to get a cheeky charge off here on the Corsair archers. Tarnosian Guard getting shot in the sides is actually going to make them take a few losses. Shield's not going to be a huge help there. Corsair archers, oh, they're trying to pull back, but they might get caught just a little bit. Oh no, they're running the wrong way. No, the Corsair archers, they ran the wrong way, so they got caught in melee. But it shouldn't be too bad because the majority of that unit will be able to escape. Got some Castamir's Legion coming up here now, and they're going to be able to butcher both units of the Hobbitry Arms here. However, it looks like there's only one. No, both units are here. Yeah, the Hobbitry Arms, if they decide to fight against the Castamir's Legion, will get butchered. So they are going to pull back from that fight. Oh, you can see how many poor dead hobbits got shot. There'll be no T or 11Zs for them any longer. Oh, over here, the pike block actually getting attacked. We've got Belerigear footmen and pikes fighting against some civilians, who are of course far outmatched in this fight and are already thinking about routing. Tarnosian Guard are coming here, and honestly, if they do shield wall pushing, they should do okay, but there really are, actually, I was going to say there aren't any units to support them, but looks like a pretty nice portion of Dol Amroth is rushing forward now. It's mostly just spears though, so I don't quite know why he's attacking just yet, because they need to attack all as one really if he wants to pull this off. Looks like he is in fact trying to shield wall push here. And again, the archers right here actually have a really good position. Actually, they're not archers, they're Corsair. They're just Corsairs. Catapult is over here as well. Belerigear archers. The Castamir's Rangers are probably around here as well somewhere. Yes, they're right over there. Body piercing archers are always very, very good in sieges. Tarnosian Guard, all moving forward. Oh, and Hobbitry Arms actually did decide to attack the Castamir's Legion. So the Castamir's Legion here are going to get a lot of kills, fighting against these poor Hobbitry Arms who are far outmatched and already thinking about wavering. Or thinking about routing, sorry. How is that? The unit that has less men is actually better in terms of morale. No, they're all ready now. Or, think about it. Nope, not quite yet. Belerigear archers are going to be able to fire maybe into the... Nope, into the backs of these Hobbitry Arms with fire ammo. That will probably rout the one unit here. Maybe not, though. Hobbits might be able to actually fight for a little bit longer than most people have given them credit for. Oh, here we go. We've got some hidden... Oh, okay, actually, I'll pause it just for a second here so we can take a quick look at Arthedain's forces. You can see he's got some Arthedain marksmen. Down here you can see he's actually got a lot of his forces have now come out of hiding. He's got pikes, he's got... Ooh, Dunedain Troll Slayers, very, very deadly javelin. He's got Arthedain men-at-arms. More pikes. He's got some Fornost E-Rain defenders who are of course a spear unit, and as long as they're used to shield wall push through pike blocks, they should do okay. He's got some dismounted dismounted Knights of Numenos, as well as some more spears and men-at-arms. That pretty much looks like it for his army, as he did actually have quite a few units of cavalry, as well as hobbits. And with the fire ammo, it looks like the hobbits might have a rout. No, still, the hobbits fighting for a long time, actually. J-Monster's Castamir's Legion are taking quite a few losses, but I believe this was the same unit that actually got hit by the Trebuchet earlier. No, maybe not. Those poor hobbits just getting butchered by the Castamir's Legion. Over here, though, we have got now 3 units of the Tarnosian Guard fighting against the pike block, as well as some civilians who are getting outflanked by some Corsair infantry. And the Tarnosian Guard actually not shield wall pushing. Luckily for them, they're mostly fighting against the Belerigear footmen, which will be a pretty even fight actually, but as soon as they get to the pikes, they're going to have a super difficult time unless they push through. Really, if they want to break through these pikes here, they're going to have to use shield wall just to rush straight through them. We'll see if they do capitalize on that. Arthedain marksman, of course, an archer unit, not bad. Not super well armored, like not so much as the Umbar forces or even the Gondor archers. Most of Umbar's archers actually do have shields, so it makes them very, very difficult to skirmish down. J-Monster going to pull out with his Castamir's Legion because he was actually taking quite a few losses. He might have been getting shot by the Dunedain marksman. Hobbit's going to actually try to pursue after the Castamir's Legion, it looks like, but they are wavering already, even though they're not even in combat, so they will probably rout. Oh. Yeah, not looking too good for the Hobbits. Although they were able to kind of make the Castamir's Legion run away. Oh yeah, we've got some Castamir's Legion coming from both sides, it looks like, so these guys probably will rout. Like I've said that like 10 times, but they still haven't. Hobbits. Oh! Okay, yeah, they just took like 3 volleys from like 4 different archer units. No, I'm just exaggerating. But yeah, that unit going to go ahead and rout after taking a lot of skirmish fire. This unit was able to charge into the Castamir's Legion, but is going to instantly rout because of all the archer fire. Ooh, we've got 2 units of Corsair Blackguards over here, maybe? No, just 1, it looks like. Yeah, a lot of javelins on the defending side as well, so that's going to be very difficult for the attackers to get through. Oh, Trebuchet. Oh, actually getting an okay hit on some of those Castamir's Legion, ironically enough. And, ooh, Belfalas Marines. Okay, we'll see. This is where things might get a little bit interesting. So it looks like Eclipse is trying to send forward some of his javelins to try to take out some of the pikes, but I would assume that they're going to get targeted pretty much immediately, just like these Dunedain marksmen, because of how deadly the javelins actually are. They do have a shield, but they don't have great armor, and their shield value isn't even that good anyway. Civilians still barely holding on in the fight. Tarnostian Guard not doing too great. Belagear Footmen will probably be able to beat them just because of the support of the pikes, and because the Belagear Footmen do have more numbers. However, there are a couple more units of the Tarnostian Guard in the background. Yes, I'd be very surprised if the Belfalas Marines do not get targeted. Yes, they are getting targeted right away. It looks like they're getting shot at by something from over here. The Belagear Archers, yes, of new player 195. On a very nice position here up on this hill, and it looks like they're trying to target the Belfalas Marines, who were standing still, and since they're getting shot now, they are going to rush forward and try to get a little bit of damage in, it looks like, before they get shot to death. As you can see, they are taking a lot of losses. But honestly, they're not probably going to even be able to do any damage just because of how close their allies are to the front line. Catapult getting a few of those Tarnostian Guard there, but not going to do too much damage because of the loose formation. Oh, well, I stand corrected. The Belfalas Marines were able to actually throw their javelins to the pikes, it looks like. But after being shot by so many arrows, they're not going to do a ton of damage. Still, though, going to try to do their best. Here we got some Tarnostian Guard again going to the fight here. But yeah, see, if Eclipse just uses his Tarnostian Guard just to try to beat his enemies in melee like this, he is going to just absolutely get wrecked. But if he uses them to actually try to push through pike blocks, he should do actually really well. But we'll see if he does capitalize on that or no. He's got his... Oh, I don't know how I feel about that. Bring up his second unit of Belfalas Marines already. Already they're getting shot now by some Belagear Archers of J-Monsters. I think this is a pretty big mistake here. We'll see how bad the consequences are. Oof, yeah, look at that. They're just getting shot square in the side, and their loose formation isn't really that loose, so they're taking a lot of losses. Pardon me. We got some Dunedain marksmen here trying to skirmish down the Belagear Archers, but the Belagear Archers with better positioning and, of course, shields, they should be able to weather those arrows pretty well. Not to mention, the Dunedain marksmen are kind of wasting their ammo on a lower tier archer unit. Looks like nothing much has really happened over here quite yet. Maybe one more trebuchet hit. Oh, we've got some Dunedain men-at-arms coming forward now. 2 units of them, it looks like. And again, the Tarnostian Guard not pushing through, it looks like, quite yet. So they're just... I really don't think they're going to do so well. Corsair infantry being committed to the front line. So it looks like new player 195 is definitely trying to save his Castamir's Legion until more deadly forces do arrive, and they certainly will. Belfalas Marines must be out of ammo now because they're going into melee with axes and shields. They will actually have slightly higher attack values than, say, a unit with a sword and shield. Dunedain men-at-arms trying to get into the fight, but they are getting shot right in the flank now by those Belligear archers. So they are definitely going to take losses, especially because they do not have any of the armor upgrades. And over here we've got only 36 of these Belfalos Marines who have not even tossed a single javelin yet. So yeah, Eclipse 2500 taking a lot of losses already. But you can see now that Carlin has actually arrived to the fight with some Minas Garithalan archers. And honestly, I was surprised at how many just standard foot archers that Thorn actually did bring. I can understand the Dunedain Rangers, but he only has one unit of the crossbows, which I actually don't even think I mentioned. He has one unit of the Minotaur Roman Guardians, who are granted the best crossbow unit that Carlin can bring to the field. However, they can bring a lot more crossbows, and they are all very heavily armored, and I believe they all have shield values. So, in a siege, they would be able to take a lot of arrows. So, I think it is kind of a mistake here that he brought your Minas Garithalan archers instead of crossbows. But we'll have to see how deadly the consequences are later in the battle. See, the Corsair archers up here on a very nice firing position will be able to actually deal a pretty good amount of damage to those Minas Garithalan archers. And the Minas Garithalan archers won't actually be able to do much damage in return because of how big this hill is that the Corsair archers are on. Belligear archers of J-Monster retreating, not wanting to get attacked or caught out here on this kind of cliff there. Pikes not taking, or haven't taken a ton of losses. Ooh, but actually the Trebuchet switching targets, and it looks like it was instead going after these blobbed up Castamir's Legion. However, they were lucky enough to escape unscathed, at least for the time being. Ooh, and over here it looks like the Turnaustian Guard have finally decided to kind of shield wall pushing. You can see as soon as they did that, they were able to do a really good job of disrupting the defensive formation of the pikes. But ooh, look at those hits! That is the deadly part of using shield wall pushes, because if there is any form of artillery, that is exactly what you do not want to happen, and what tends to happen pretty often. Just the shield wall right there causing so many lost lives. You can see a lot of routing as well going on with the Turnaustian Guard, and that's very unfortunate too, because they were just starting to make some headway. It looks like there are actually some Edhelm Halberdiers going in to support now. The Halberdier's AP isn't going to do great against a lot of these Corsairs, just because these units are very lightly armored. But against the Castamir's Legion, the AP will do very, very well. Ooh, some Turnaustian Guard actually being able to sneak around the side here of these Corsair pikes. Catapult narrowly missing there, well, not really for those three guys. But Corsair Infantry going to try to stop these Turnaustian Guard from pushing forward any further. The Turnaustian Guard actually thinking about routing here, which is very bad because they're actually starting to make some headway. Edhelm Halberdiers now giving support to the Arthedain Men-at-Arms. Oof. Not looking too good. You can actually see some Corsair Infantry was able to sneak around these sides here. Looks like they were actually chasing down some routing units. Probably, yes, the Turnaustian Guard. Ah, and here we have the Greenwatch Garrison Footmen. And just like I said, these very lightly armored pikes are going to take a ton of losses to arrow fire. You can see they're already getting targeted by, looks like both units of these archers right there, and they're just taking horrendous losses, and they really haven't even fought at all yet. We'll have to see what happens there, because that is a really big loss. Well, not super, just because of how cheap those pikes are, but still, in a battle like this, pretty much every man counts. It looks like Gondor and Carlin have arrived in full force, though. You can see Carlin has pretty much deployed fully right here, right at the front ramp. Arthedain is back there, and then Gondor is just behind them, just trying to reform his lines. Go back up to the fight now. Oof, yeah, the Greenwatch Garrison Footmen are already down to 97 before they even were able to lay a pike on the enemy. Arthedain Men-at-Arms thinking about routing. I don't know quite what they were chasing, but they were chasing something. It's already been a very bloody fight. Belfalos Marines kind of in the fight, but they're still throwing their javelins at the Corsairs, interestingly enough. So yeah, that's very bad. Eclipse has already lost a lot of forces, including two of his most deadly units in a siege, which would be javelins. But over here, the defenders not really doing too well. You can see their pikes are really struggling. They are actually thinking about routing. So some fire arrows Were they to come in now, might actually be able to rout some of these pikes. No, they're actually regaining their courage now. Of course, their infantry fighting hard against some Arthedain men-at-arms and some Tarnostian guard. Pikes still actually holding relatively strongly against the Edhelm halberdiers, mainly just because of the shorter range of the halberds. And really, Umbar is doing much better in this fight, I would say, than the attackers, because they still haven't even committed any of their elites like Castamir's Legion quite yet. Although it looks like a unit of the Castamir's Legion of J-Monster is wanting to get into the fight. You can see them rushing over here. Ooh, pretty much Garrison Footman taking a few losses to the catapult there. Ooh, and actually here's some Black Swan Vanguard just standing here getting shot in the back by some archers. That is very unfortunate because these guys would actually be able to do quite well against a lot of the enemies. Oh, another good catapult hit, it looks like. Oh yeah, that's very bad. It just routed this whole chunk of attackers here that was actually able to gain a little bit of foothold. And because of that rout, it will allow the defenders to kind of reform their lines here. Fire arrows as well definitely helped with routing those forces. Pretty much Garrison's footmen, now that they're actually in melee, they should do okay. They will definitely be good at taking out the Corsair pikes, who have been fighting for a long time. Belfast Marines fighting. One unit's out of ammo, the other one's trying to use its ammo, but unfortunately not going to be able to do much damage now that they have taken so many losses. And as you can see, the Abrazenim Nardubawib here of New Player has actually run out of ammo. So, oh, same with the Belagir Archers actually. So, things might not actually be going quite as well for the defenders as I had once thought, because they are actually running out of ammo very quickly. Oh no, that's so bad. The Black Swan Vanguard taking they routed. Oh my, what? They took the catapult hit, were shaken for a second, and then just routed. Oh, that's horrible, because these guys would be very important at taking out units like the Castamir's Legion, who have just been committed to the fight. Oof, yeah, things not looking good for the attackers at all. They're already taking a ton of losses. We've got the bitter rivals here of Dol Amroth and Umbar facing off against each other. We've actually got 4 factions of men. I think we actually have like the reunited kingdom. We've got, yeah, because we've got Arthedain, Gondor, and Dol Amroth, as well as Cardwin. Basically, we're only missing Rudour, but I don't think they would be joining Gondor or Arthedain or Cardwin anytime soon. Whoa, this is a lot of Belagir Archers. We've got 2 units of Belagir Archers up here. These guys still do have ammo. Looks like the Belagir Archers of J-Monster are trying to target down the Minsk-Rithlin Archers? Possibly? Although we do have some more Arthedain men-at-arms coming to the fight now. And unfortunately, because Clueless's Belagir Archers are kind of in the way of J-Monsters, a lot of J-Monster's Archers are going to be really, really arcing their shots, which will make the arrows take longer to get there and not do quite so much damage. Yeah, looks like these Black Swan Vanguard have returned to the fight after that horrendous rout. Oof, yeah, these Arthedain men-at-arms is going to be no match really for the Castamir's Legion, although with the support of the pikes and halberds, they should do okay, I guess. But the halberds I actually take back. The halberds are over there. Oh. Oh. Arthedain men-at-arms just routing off the field because of that excellent positioning of the catapult. So it looks like if the attackers want to focus on one front, they should probably focus over here on this side with the halberds, because they're not going to be able to, well, they won't be quite so open to the catapult fire. Because you can see the catapult already has done a ton of damage to the attackers. Although it definitely does need to save its ammo, because there are still a ton of attackers remaining. Like, I don't think Gondor has even sent forward a single unit quite yet. Oh, it looks like Thorn is deciding to move forward with a lot more of his forces. He's got some Minsk-Rithlin swordsmen, some more archers from Arthedain as well, actually. Catapult of Thorn has been kind of stagnant so far. Gondor was able to move a little bit closer, it looks like. Dol Amroth taking a lot of losses, and again, all this cavalry from Gondor kind of makes me think that before there might have been like a before where like the defenders like sallied forth or something, or I don't know, maybe just the Gondor player decided to bring a lot of cavalry. Skirmish archers. Looks like all these units here are trying to take cover behind this pillar here, which actually should be pretty effective, especially for these Greenwatch Garrison footmen, who of course are going to take insane losses from archers. However, they might be slightly exposed. Oh, yeah, looks like the Belliger archers might have a slight angle on them there, but they could be out of range. Black Swan Vanguard, some men-at-arms that have come back from routing. And over here, looks like the attackers just don't really have the numbers here. Oh, yes, and there are some Corsair Blackguards from J Monster were through maybe just one or two volleys, but it was certainly enough to rout those Edhelm Halberdiers. And after seeing their brothers rout like that, the Tarnostian Guard are also going to go in full retreat. So it looks like the defenders have won this fight, at least for the time being. Although it was deadly on both sides for sure. 17% to 23%. It is very common, I guess you could say, for the attackers to be losing the percentage slightly in the beginning of the match. Over here, though, we've got a lot of archers trying to target down this pike block, and that is going to be definitely something that you'd want to do. However, with a lot of these shielded units here, they're not going to take a ton of losses. Some Corsair archers out of ammo, so it looks like a lot of the Umbar archers are running out of ammo, which is definitely not good, considering how many enemies they still have remaining. Minuscarithlan Swordsman might be the first in the fight over here. Against the Belliger from they should do alright, but the pikes, again, pikes are so hard to deal with. With a sword and shield infantry unit anyway. Abrazanum Nardubawi might be going up on the hill there to get to a better firing position, because you can actually see the Greenwatch Garrison footmen rushing forward here. They've dropped their spear wall because they want to get up there as quickly as possible. But again, they're probably going to get targeted here by the Belliger archers. We'll watch just for a second and see what they decide to do. No, it actually looks like the archers are going after the Minuscarithlan Swordsmen, who are going to go up on this hill here, try to get a little bit of a foothold. But they are going to be stopped, at least for the time being, by some Corsair archers. Looks like there's some Castmir's Legion that might be coming over here as well. Greenwatch Garrison footmen trying to reform the lines just a little bit here before going into the fight. Gonna stop and put spear wall back on and then get into the fight. Yes, and here they go. They're actually being backed up by some Arthedain men-at-arms as well. But again, because of this really awesome positioning of the archers here, any of the units that are committed here will take a ton of losses just from getting shot in the sides. Looks like some Belliger archers that are out of ammo have also been committed here against the Minuscarithlan Swordsmen. Minuscarithlan archers might be trying to go up on the hill as well, and that'd be definitely very, very good. Try to give the defenders a little taste of their own medicine there. Belliger footmen taking a lot of losses because of the combined forces of the pikes and the men-at-arms. And the Corsair pikemen will probably fare not much better either. Although with all the archer support, that could turn around very, very quickly. Arthedain marksmen there as well. And over here we've got some Minuscarithlan archers. Gonna try to target down some of these units over here. Halberdiers, as soon as they came back from fighting, were recommitted to the fight, as well as some Tarnostian Guard. Looks like the defenders kind of pulled back with a lot of their more stout infantrymen. You can see they've just got some Corsair infantry, a few pikes, some archers maybe, and some standard Corsairs. And they just committed their Abrazanum Nardubawi as well. These guys are actually pretty dang good in melee, considering they're archers. Actually kind of just sneaking through the lines here. Might be able to rout some of these units just by running around them. Arthedain men-at-arms going to try to give some support to these Tarnostian Guard who are wavering. Catapult not going to fire quite yet. Definitely not going to want to waste any of the ammo that they have left. Over here, yes, we've got Belliger archers again, still firing into the flanks here of the archers actually now, who are trying to give some support to their front line. Oh, but we got some Corsair archers from Clueless managing to sneak around the flank here and try to outflank these pikes and men-at-arms who are just tearing through the defensive lines here. Belliger footmen down to 58, and the pikes are down to 82. Looks like a lot of the pikes are actually facing the wrong way, unfortunately, as well. But don't worry, they will probably turn around. They will probably turn around. Yes, and it looks like this front line here is now getting targeted by some archers as well, so the pikes in particular will take losses. We're actually thinking about routing as well. Having fought for so long. Oof, yes, and with the flanking archer fire there, they probably will rout. Not quite yet. Dunedain men-at-arms still relatively healthy. Well, these pikes have taken a lot of losses, down to only 73 men now. And here comes some Castamer's Legion as well. They might be going around the flank of these infantrymen. Or they could be going up to the swordsmen as well, it looks like. And over here we've got some more Dunedain men-at-arms pouring forward, as well as some halberdiers, some more swordsmen, and as well as some pikes as well. Minuscule Rifflin archers trying to fire, and these Black Swan vanguards still just kind of standing here, just kind of waiting, it looks like. And the second unit might have actually been committed to the fight. Yeah, there's nothing to support them here, so they will take a lot of losses. Although against the pretty heavily armored Aberzetum Nardubawi, they should do relatively well. They're also... Actually, there are some spears here. So they have a little bit of support, it looks like. Dunedain men-at-arms trying to fight their best against the Corsair infantry and pikes back there. Pikes down to only 20 men after those pretty horrendous shield wall pushes. Belliger archers out of ammo, maybe? So it looks like they are. A lot of archers out of ammo. There are still some javelins and some body-piercing rangers, though. The body-piercing rangers, of course, are very, very deadly. Dunedain men-at-arms going to rout. Black Swan Vanguard are probably going to follow if they get surrounded. The Edhelm halberdiers are kind of just waiting here, so I'd be very surprised if they don't get targeted. Well, they should be okay, at least for the time being, it looks like. Minuscule Rifflin archers trying to thin out the lines as well. Attackers really having a difficult time, though. Over here, though, the Minuscule Rifflin swordsmen were actually able to take out most of the Corsair archers, and a pretty good chunk here of the Belliger archers. However, there are some Corsair blackguards coming around the flank now. Oh, here in the center, most of the footmen have been taken out, as well as that first unit of Dunedain men-at-arms. But some supporting Dunedain pikes, as well as some more men-at-arms and some swordsmen have been committed as well, which has forced J Monster to commit, looks like 2 units maybe of the Castamer's Legion here. But he does have some Corsair blackguards here on the flank, and they have a perfect target here, right into these Dunedain pikemen, who, had they been unmolested, would probably have been able to crack through this defensive line here. Aberzetum Nardubawi going up on the hill along with these Belliger archers, who are still pouring arrows down into the attacking ranks. Yeah, looks like the defenders are looking pretty thin on the ground here. However, the Castamer's Legion are very difficult to break down, so they should hold for a pretty long time. Another unit of Castamer's Legion over here going to be committed against the Minuscule Rifflin swordsmen. And you can see what I meant about their kind of low morale, because even though they're at 73 out of like 123, they're thinking about routing already. Although they aren't being given any support, so that also could be why. As well as they're getting shot in the sides by archers, so that's not good for anyone's morale, I don't think. But yeah, right there in the center, the Castamer's Legion still trying to hold their best, but they will probably fall. Ooh! Yeah, look at that. This huge lot of pikes and heavily armored infantry is going to take a ton of losses from these Corsair blackguards who are... Oh, yes, just look at that. So many of those pikes and infantrymen going down. However, there is a lot of Gondor infantry actually coming forward now, as well as some Gondor spears. The Gondor spears do have shield wall, so as long as they shield wall push, they should do okay. And I think a shield wall push would be kind of necessary over here against the Castamer's Legion, who are, of course, very good. And in a siege, their relatively low numbers is kind of nullified as a weakness, I guess you could say. In a way, of course, and of course only to an extent. Looks like these Minuscule Rifflin archers might be out of ammo, so they're going to be committed to fight somewhere else. And yeah, the constant javelin volleys from these Corsair blackguards, you can see, has really thinned out the numbers here of the attackers. You can see a lot of routing is happening as well. Oof, yeah, that was so quick. Just a second ago, it looked like the attackers would be able to break through this defensive line here, but As it is right now, with the support of the javelins, that really just turned the tide of the battle right there. Gondor Spear's coming forward now. Gondor Spearman will not do very well, honestly, against the Casimir's Legion unless they shield wall push. We'll have to see if he does decide to push them forward. That would definitely be the best way to break down those Casimir's Legion. And over here, it looks like the attackers are kind of taking a slow approach to things. They were able to defeat kind of this first wave. But you can see there's so many defenders back here as well. They don't want to go just rushing into things right away, especially as things are starting to heat up on the other side. Although, honestly, it would not be a horrible idea to attack both sides at the same time with a lot of force. Ooh. Gondor infantry now going to go be committed against some Casimir's Legion as well as some Belagir archers. Spearmen are here as well.
Only half the enemy force remains.
Belagir archers and Corsair archers are going to do okay, I guess, especially because there's not too many enemies on their side. They should hold for long enough. Right here in the center, this blob of Casimir's Legion is just going to be able to carve their way through this Gondor infantry. Looks like the Corsair Blackguards are now out of ammo as well. These guys are very good in melee, so they're going to be able to do a very excellent job for the most part in melee. Oh, Minotaur Roman Guardians. We've got the crossbows of Thorn over here trying to fire into the flanks of units. However, they're about to get charged in the front by some Corsair Blackguards, so he's going to try to pull out with them, but we'll see if he's able to do so effectively. And unfortunately for J-Monster, if he decides to use the Blackguards just to surround these Minotaur archers, he is going to get crossbowed in the sides. So he is going to continuously chase these Minotaur Roman Guardians out of there, because he does not want to take losses to those crossbows just yet. Because they are, of course, super, super deadly. We've got some more supporting forces coming in now. It looks like Clueless and... I was going to say Clueless and J-Monster, but it looks like it's mostly just Clueless. Has decided to not defend this area next, but he instead is going to push forward all of his forces to defend this one part pretty much for the whole battle, it would look like. Oh, I thought those were Castimir's Rangers, but I was wrong. Castimir's Rangers up on that hill would do incredible in the center here with all of the body piercing. Especially as some more Gondor infantry and spears looks like go up to either side. Spearmen trying to fight against the Blackguards. That's not going to be a very good fight for them. Minotaur archers being surrounded on all sides is going to cause them to rout. Oh, and the Trebuchet actually of Eclipse 2500 has moved forward as well. But again, it looks as if the fight over here is not really recommenced in full just yet. Oh, but the catapult of Thorn. I forgot that, yes, Thorn did have a catapult. Oh, was actually able to get a decent hit on those Corsair Blackguards. Arthedain Men-at-Arms and Fornost E-Ring Defenders pushing forward here, so some swordsmen and some spearmen. Again, these spearmen just sitting here, they're gonna not do good because of their malice against other infantry. They have to push through. If you want them to be cost effective, you have to push them through with shield wall, which you can see that that's exactly what Cloud Pyro is trying to do here with his defenders, and he's actually doing it to a pretty great effect. It looks like these Castimir's Legion, having fought for so long, have been kind of reduced in numbers quite heavily, so they are being pushed through here. Lewis, though, deciding not to commit his pikes and Castimir's Legion to the fight there. It looks like he is instead going to retreat to a better defensive position. There's some Numenor and Shield Guard here as well. Those guys are very difficult to push through. It looks as if the attackers might be able to crack through here. It will definitely take time, but they might be able to pull it off. No, Castimir's Legion and Numenor and Shield Guard trying to stop the shield wall push here of the Fornost E-Ring Defenders. There are also some Belagir archers going to rush forward here to hold the line for as long as possible, at least long enough for these remaining units to go back to a better position. Oh, the Narunar Royal Guard of J-Monster is over here as well. Although this is his general's unit, so after he gets some good volleys off, he will probably pull them back. Minotaur Roman Guardians are firing, I would assume, at the Corsair Blackguards. Looks like it. And Dol Amroth is pushing forward with a lot of his forces as well. And over here, it looks like the fight has kind of recommenced in a little bit of a fuller way now. Corsair Savages and some Aberzenim Nordubawi fighting against some Edhelm Halberdiers. The AP of the Savages will do good against the Edhelm Halberdiers. However, the Halberds might have a better range. Well, I would assume have a better range than the Corsair Savages. So the Corsair Savages might actually have a very difficult time, actually, just because of the range of the Halberds. Although maybe not. It looks like they might actually have kind of even range. I could be very wrong about that, of course. Oof, yeah, Savages not doing super great here. But again, the Edhelm Halberdiers taking a lot of losses in return because of the AP of the Savages here, as well as from the support of the Aberzenim Nordubawi. There are also some remaining Black Swan Vanguard in here, but their AP is not going to do great against most of those lightly armed forces. Tier Their Wardens waiting in the background as well. And yes, it looks like over here the attackers have managed to break through a little bit. You can see some Minotaur Roman Guardians, the crossbows. Oh, wait a second. Oh, I was very worried there. I thought for a second these Shield Guard were the Naru-Unar Royal Guard, but no, the Naru-Unar Royal Guard are going to be able to retreat. Minotaur Roman Guardian is going to fire at the Shield Guard. That's not a bad idea, honestly, but yeah, I think it was a pretty big mistake, honestly, for him to not bring more crossbows, because the crossbows would have been super awesome at taking out the units like the Naru-Unar Sentinels and the Aberzenim Nardutarik. Because you can see the defenders still have a lot of very scary units back here. Some rangers, some shield guards, some more rangers. So yeah, a lot of scary units back there. So I think crossbows definitely would have helped out, especially against those elite sentinels. Gondor archers over here as well. Minotaur Roman Guardians, looks like they're kind of staying in the fight here, so they might be out of it. No, they're not. They're running away now. Over here, though, the Belagear archers and Casimirs, or no, Belagear archers and Numenor and Shield Guards still holding all right. Spearmen, of course, not going to do a very quick job of taking out enemy infantry. Blackguards still holding on strong as well. They are, of course, really not that bad in melee at all. They are very expensive though, but they are captive too, so you can actually bring a lot of them. Minotaur Roman Guardians firing to the back of the Shield Guard. Again, not a horrible idea, but because he only has one unit of crossbows, he could probably, or he should probably, I should say, save his ammo. Body piercing rangers. Oh, and over here it looks like the attack has kind of recommenced. We've got some Talon Knights in the fight here. And the Talon Knights, as long as their support, are going to do very good. But the Catapult is moving into view now, really wanting to get a chunk here of these Talon Knights who are going to try to retreat, not wanting to get taken out by those Talon, or not wanting to get taken out by the Catapult. Tier Their Wardens are over here as well, it looks like, trying to get out of view of the Catapult Nodi, or at least trying to face down these Casimir's Legion here. And there are still a lot of Casimir's Legion over here at that. Looks like, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units of Casimir's Legion over here. So yeah, tons of Casimir's Legion on the battlefield today. Talon Knight's going to try to go around the flank here, not wanting to get taken out by the Catapult. But I think that they probably will get, or they probably will take losses from the Catapult, especially if they're just standing there and they need to move. Casimir's Legion might be trying to come over here to keep the Talon Knights in place. And honestly, that'd be a super great idea because the Talon Knights are in the perfect position to get targeted by the Catapult, just because it could turn a little bit and fire straight into the flank here of these Talon Knights. Because the Talon Knights are pretty few in number, they will like pretty much lose half the unit. But honestly, I think the attackers need to commit more over there. I know they're scared of the catapult, but with the elites that they have, over there, they should probably commit a little bit more. Over here, though, looks like most of the defenders have been mopped up, with the exception of some blackguards or some Belliger archers, actually, and a few blackguards. Archer's gonna rout. Of course, their blackguards will fight forever, but still, they're not going to do too much damage anymore. And the Dunedain Rangers trying to move into view of some good targets, but you can see the Naru and our Royal Guard of J-Monster here. So it looks like if the attackers decide to do this, they could actually put archers up on this hill. And if they've got crossbows up here or the body-piercing arrows, they could do a ton of damage to the defending units back here. So hopefully they do take advantage of that, but we'll have to see if they do. And actually, if they do decide to do that, there's not really, much room for loose formation. So they could get targeted by the Castamar's Rangers. However, that pillar looks like it would prevent most of the incoming arrows. But you can't really know for sure until someone tries it. Gondor Spear is going to try to help out the Minotaur Roman Guardians who are fighting against the Castamar's Legion. I sure hope that the Minotaur Roman Guardians are not out of ammo. I think only bringing the one unit of crossbows will have some really dangerous repercussions for Thorn there. Edhelm Halberdier is going to come up here and try to help out the remaining Dol Amroth units up here. What happened to the Town Knights? We're at 26? I mean, you can see they're actually kind of spread out. Oh my. Jeez. Rip Castamar's Legion. That was actually a really good... Was it the Trebuchet hit? That's actually very surprising considering how inaccurate it is. Yeah, unfortunately, the Town Knights are kind of getting spread out from each other, so they're taking a lot of losses. Castamar's Legion going to pull back because they're, of course, very expensive, and getting taken out by a Trebuchet like that would be really horrible, so they're going to try to pull out of range of that Trebuchet. Yeah, what did these Town Knights do? They just kind of rushed forward, and you can see they just got killed without really killing any in return. Wait, does he have both units here? Please tell me. I'm really worried. I was gonna say, did he lose both units already? I would be so sad. No, it looks like he's alright. Castamar's Legion again, just trying to retreat here, not liking that fight rather, especially with the presence of that Trebuchet there. There are still some pretty good units in reserve though of Dol Amroth. Some more pikes moving forward. And with a lot of the defending archers either dead or out of ammo, they don't have too much to worry about, but actually no, I take it back because there are still the couple units of Naru and our Royal Guard, as well as I believe all 3 units of Rangers. So they still have a lot to fear. Well, look at this, there's actually another unit, the Abrazinum Nardu Bawib as well. We'll take a look back here and see what the defenders have in reserve. Of course, there are archers that returned from routing. Back here, we've got some crossbows. We've got more Castamar's Legion, Belliger archers. 2 units, of course, are black. Oh, what the? What are they firing? What are they firing at? Well, it says they're firing, but I didn't actually see anything, so they didn't waste any ammo, thankfully. But yeah, they've still got some Corsair Blackguards, some Harbingers, some Naru and our Royal Guards, some more AP, some more Elite Pikes. So yeah, they've still got a lot in reserve. Whoa, wait a second. Are they doing a full-on retreat, like, back to the freaking capital? Or city center? No, they're not good. You can see J-Monsters got some Blackguard. There's a lot of Castamar's Legion here. They're trying to even retreat with the catapult, surprisingly enough. So the attacker's willing to take advantage of this and try to get that catapult before it does any more damage. As you can see, Dol Amroth rushing forward. There's still Gondor back there. This is where their cavalry would be actually somewhat useful, but unfortunately for the cavalry, it's way too far in the back to actually do anything. So by the time it actually gets over here, it'll be much too late. Catapult reforming its line here, so it looks like this will be the next line of defense. Again, the attackers can go straight up this hill here, so they do have to make sure to defend their catapult as well as possible. There are the 2 units of shock infantry over here as well. Being swords, they're not AP, but they do have higher skill than, say, a unit with 2-handed, like hammers, say. We can go back over here though and see what's going on the other side. So the attackers are just trying to deal with the last of the defenders on this side and then are going to reform their lines. But yeah, the Minotaur Guardians were in that fight for the entire time. Well, they're pulling out their crossbows, so they must still have ammo. That's definitely good. Catapult of Thorn. If he's able to get in a good position, like if he's able to push it all the way over here and maybe put it set it by that tent, he might be able to get some good hits off on all of these guys right here. And it looks like they actually kind of see that coming, so J-Monster is going to pull back with his shield wall, Abrazenem Nardu Tariq, although he could just be pushing them back a little bit more to protect his Naru Sentinels from any incoming arrows. Casimir's Rangers, more Casimir's Legion. There's so much Casimir's Legion. Belagear Archers coming over here as well. I believe these guys had maybe routed? I know they're out of ammo. Oof, yeah, you can see a lot of attackers coming forward now. Got the pikes, more elites. Some Green Watch Garrison footmen that had returned from routing. Oh, and the Trebuchet actually. It's been firing a lot though, so it's probably getting close to running out of ammo. And over here we've got, actually, yeah, it looks like they were trying to go after the catapult, but catapult's going to be able to escape pretty easily. Belagear Archers fighting against some remnants of Tirthair Wardens, some Edhelm Halberdiers, and maybe some Talon Knights. Yeah, 9 Talon Knights. Casimir's Legion coming over here to flank around these units, looks like. Yes. However, he should be careful because the attackers, honestly, if I were an attacker here, I would try to rush forward here and take out this unit of Casimir's Legion, just because the Casimir's Legion are very good, and seeing one like this, just seeing your back to it, would be a very good opportunity to try to take it out. Especially with how much Casimir's Legion is left over, you need to try to take out as much of it as possible. Although you would have to be very careful, because you can see there are a lot of deadly units over here, like the Casimir's Rangers, who would be able to tear up any of your units that you pushed forward, pretty much. Looks like Gondor might be trying to attack from that side as well. He still has a pretty good amount of elites left. He's got his Elisar's Vanguard, he's got his Citadel Guard, as well as his Karandros Marksmen. And of course his cavalry. But unfortunately for him, his cavalry is not going to be that useful, I don't think, especially with how many pikes are left over. Especially elite pikes. I still think all 3 units of the Naru and Naru Sentinels are still alive, so... Oh, wait. Okay, I was very confused there. I was like, wait, I thought the Rangers were capped at 1. But no, this is a Dunedain Rangers from both Cardin and from Arthedain. Hearthguard of Amansul there. And it looks like this might be kind of a slow point in the battle while everyone just tries to reform their lines and get ready for the next assault, really. Oh, Trebuchet narrowly missing there. Oh, not missing there though. Able to take out a few of those Casimir's Legion, maybe some archers as well. Yeah, so a pretty good hit there on the Casimir's Legion. Although they're going to need a lot more like it if they want to pull this one off. Ooh, yeah, this is still a really, really nasty defense. You can see a ton of really good units. We've got the Abrazenem Narduzigar, a ton of Casimir's Legion, the Rangers, the Blackguards. So yeah, that's a really, really nasty defense. The main thing, though, they don't have a ton of archers. I think the only archer unit that they have left, it looks like, is the Casimir's Rangers, maybe 1 unit of Nardubawi that still has ammo. So if the attackers have any archers, they should try to utilize them over here, because they're definitely going to need as much help as possible. And targeting things like the Abrazenem Narduzigar would be very, very much something that you'd want to do. Catapult moving forward over here, going to try to get to the city center to be used for the last stand. Crossbow Corsairs still haven't fought at all yet. I'm not really surprised by that, because honestly the defending archers actually took a lot more skirmish fire than I had once thought. Ooh, Catapult of Thorn though, trying to come over here and get some hits off on the Naronar Royal Guard, who are targeting the Hearthguard of Amansul here, and maybe the Rangers as well. Yeah, it looks like they're actually targeting the Rangers, which is definitely a very good target. see what the archers are firing at. Or the rangers, sorry. Because I hope they're not firing at the archers, because rangers are horrible in a skirmish fight. They really should only be used at taking out infantry, particularly blobs of infantry. So yeah, he really should stop firing with his rangers at these archers there, because that's a really big waste. Because he needs to be using them against things like the pikes over there. But no, he continues to fire there, so I think that again is a pretty big mistake. He's not even really getting any good catapult hits over here as well, so things are really not looking too good. I think I will go ahead and speed it up just a little bit. Like just barely at all, pretty much. Just until... oh, wrong side. Things really start going again. We can watch the last Talon Knight, no, 4 Talon Knights ring, sorry. Kill this one Belligear archer. See how long it takes him. Or if the Belligear archer is able to get a kill. Nope, he's retreating. He's retreating. We'll see if he gets killed or not. Talon Knights are in pursuit. They're just running after him, but it looks like the Belligear archer is very much faster. So the Talon Knights are going to go ahead and give up that fight and let him escape with his life, at least for the time being. But it looks like this is going to be kind of another, well, yeah, just a slow part. So I will go ahead, we'll watch the skirmish fight for a little bit longer, and then we will go ahead and, I will go ahead and make a cut here, and we can see you again as soon as the fight picks up once more. Yeah, the Ibers and Nardubawi are actually getting attacked now by the Gondor archers, both units of them. However, the Gondor archers are not in loose formation, so any incoming skirmish fire will do a lot of damage to them, despite their pretty good armor. You can actually see that J-Monster is bringing forward his Naru and our Royal Guard, who are still very healthy. Honestly, the Castamir's Rangers I don't think would be a bad pick over here, just to maybe to try to put one volley off into the Gondor archers because they're not in loose formation. Oh, over here, Grey Company, they need to be careful not to get too close to the stakes. He could lose his general here. Oh, okay. He stopped. Good. Oh, and we actually have 2 Aragorns on the battlefield today. We've got one in his Ranger kind of get up, and we also have the Aragorn that has already been crowned king. Yeah, the Iberzetum Nardubawi, we've taken a lot of losses here just because of how many archers they are getting targeted by. However, that's probably fine, honestly, because of how many arrows the attackers are wasting on that one unit. Looks like the Naru and our Royal Guard are actually getting shot at now as well. I can see some arrows in the ground. But again, because of their hit points and good armor and shield values, they should be able to withstand those arrows pretty well. Also, it looks like the general is pretty well protected from this kind of cliff face there. Hearthguard of Amansul going to retreat. Grey Company also pulled back, not wanting to get killed right away because that is, of course, his general's unit. And the Gondor Cav just kind of sitting back here because there's nothing much that they can actually do. Okay, but I think this will be... yeah, I think this is where I will go ahead and make a quick cut until the fight begins again. But oh no, maybe not. Maybe not. Looks like the fight might begin with these Minas archers. They're moving forward, so they might be trying to get a chunk out of all these units over here. Still 3 units of Castamir's Legion right there, 2 more in reserve. Ooh, yeah. Not looking good for the attackers. It's looking very good for the defenders right now, I can tell you that, though. Yeah, so I actually don't think I will make a cut. At least not quite yet, because it looks like the fight is going to begin once more, because you can see Dol Amroth just rushing forward with a large portion of his forces. Oh no, actually that's Gondor and Dol Amroth together. We've got some Citadel Guard here. The Citadel Guard and Elisar's Vanguard will do quite well against the Castamir's Legion. However, he has to be sure to not take too many losses, because he has to try to be as cost effective as possible, considering how many elites, or how many troops in general Umbar has left in the city center. Minuscule archers going to be far outclassed here by the completely healthy Castamir's Legion, but they will be able to do a little bit of damage, hopefully. 48 to 56%. Yeah, you can see these Minuscule archers just getting absolutely butchered. I'm actually thinking about routing now. The Edhelmed Halberdiers, though, will be able to do a great deal of damage to the Castamir's Legion, as long as they do get into a pretty decent formation. Ooh, but they are getting shot by body-piercing arrows, so they need to try to get into the fight as quickly as possible before they get shot to death. Because I believe this is his last unit of halberds. Eclipse really doesn't have all that much left in reserve, to be honest with you. He took a lot of losses early fight, or early game. Yes, the halberds are now fighting against these healthy Castamir's Legion now, but the Castamir's Rangers up on the hill might be able to get a good angle off on them. As you can see, they're going to go ahead and reload. Oh, I take it back. They're going to march now. And Gondor reforming his lines. This is not a great idea, honestly, because his forces are not in loose formation, and with the body-piercing arrows there, units like the LSR's Vanguard will get targeted and will take a lot of losses. Because, I mean, look at this juicy target here for the body piercing. I mean, look how blobbed up these guys are. It'll go through all, what, four units here without a problem. Yes, that is exactly what he's doing. He's targeting the Citadel Guard there in the infantry, just going through all of the units there who are going to take a lot of losses. Even Gondor's heavily armored units will take losses, will take a lot of losses to body piercing arrows. Yeah, he needs to either commit them to the fight or get them out of there, because he cannot just afford to stand there and get shot. And unfortunately for him, his Carandos marksmen, looks like a few of them are actually shooting into this hill. But they are actually able to, looks like they're actually being able to take out a few of these Castamir's Rangers, which is very good. Actually forcing new player 195 to pull back with his Castamir's Rangers, so at least for the time being, Gondor's forces will be at least a little bit safe. But oh, over here, the Castamir's Legion taking a lot of losses because they were facing the wrong way. And here come the AP Citadel Guard. There's also the LSR's Vanguard and some Gondor infantry over here. But there are also two more units, looks like, of the Castamir's Legion coming in. And there's still another unit in reserve. Oh, over here, looks like most of those Minuscule archers were taken out. Carandos marksmen trying to do their best at helping out. Looks like they are definitely targeting the most important units like the Castamir's Rangers. However, there are some Blackguard over here, and they might still have ammo. Yes, they do still have ammo, so they could still be very, very deadly against these very blobbed up, very elite units. Over here, the fight has also once again gone underway. You can see some pikes and infantry fighting against some Abrazenim Nardu Tariq, as well as some Belagear footmen. The Nardu Tariq taking a lot of losses, surprisingly enough. Well, actually, I guess it's not that surprising because they are getting just outranged by the pikes. And back here, the Narwhal Royal Sentinels, as well as the Corsair Pikemen, are actually taking a lot of skirmish fire from the attacking archers. Oh, but over here, Tharbad Warhammers already down to 39, and a lot of them are actually bloodied up because of the fact that they've just been getting shot for quite some time now. Castamir's Rangers back here, as well as some... oh, I thought that's just the Shield Guard. So yeah, both units of Castamir's Rangers over here, so the attackers definitely need to be careful about blobbing up. Oh, but the Catapult looks like it was wanting to go after the elite pikes. Oh, and it was able to. Oh, some good hits right there from the Catapult, going straight into the important units like the Naru and Aro Sentinels and units like that. However, it actually routed the Abrazenim Nardu Tariq. However, it was getting a lot of friendly fire. You can see these Arthian pikes were thinking about routing there for a second.
Only half the enemy force remains.
Sentinels down to 70 now. Belagear footmen at 60. There are still some shield guard back here, some normal pikemen, and still both units of Castamir's Rangers. Nardubawi being Castamir's Legion back there as well. We'll take a look over here again. Ooh, Trebuchet is getting targeted now by some fire ammo from the Abrazenim Nardubawi. Not going to be a huge issue, honestly. Oh, but over here, another really nice target here from J Monster with his Corsair Blackguards, going straight into these poor Citadel Guard who are actually thinking about routing, not at all liking the idea of getting just javelined to death. And that is very unfortunate too, because the Citadel Guard would have been able to do really well against the Castmir's Legion because of their AP. Oof, yeah, down to 29. I don't even know what the other unit's at. 55. Elsar's Vanguard still at 47 though, so they're still very healthy. And here we've got the Tier 3 Wardens. We're trying to flank around, but looks like they're actually pulling out now for some reason. And it looks like these Blackguards are now out of ammo, so that's definitely good for the attackers. Might be able to give a little bit of ease of mind to attacker opponents. Yes, and he's still got his Carriage Marksman back here. He's still got his cavalry and the remaining Dollarmouth forces over here as well. You can see Gandalf the White there. And over here we've got some Dunedain Rangers from Thorn this time, trying to do their bit. But over here, looks like the fight has gone back in favor of the defenders. The Naru Sentinels, being backed by some Shield Guard and some Corsair Pikes, were able to kind of retake control of this fight. Tharbad Warhammers and dismounted Knights of Numinos are in here. However, because of their limited range, they are not going to do very well against all of these pikes. Against the Shield Guard, they should do okay, but against all these pikes, I do not think they're going to do very well at all. And it does look like the Castimir's Rangers of J Monster are now out of ammo, so he's going to go ahead and commit them into melee. Looks like the other no, I thought those were Rangers with them. It looks like Clueless's Rangers do still have ammo, so that's definitely good for him. And up here, there might have been a fight. Yes, there is a fight actually going on. We've got some Naru in our Royal Guard of J Monster, so the General's Bodyguard right here, fighting hard against some Dunedain Troll Slayers, who I hope used their ammo, because the Troll Slayers as javelins are super deadly, and because they actually have two-handed axes in melee, they are also super deadly in melee as well. But oh, J Monster's General getting surrounded here by some Fornos Urain defenders here as well, so he could lose his General. You can see the General right there. Right in the fight there against some Spearmen. He was able to get a kill actually, but we'll see how long he's able to keep up that fight. I'm thinking J Monster may lose his General here. You can see poor Castamir just getting stabbed on all sides by the Spearmen. Oh, he got another kill though. Then he killed the Flag Bearer. Alright, definitely not going to go down without a fight. Troll Slayers, again, like I said, are a very good unit, but because they're getting attacked now by some archers as well as some elite Naru and our Royal Guard, they will take a lot of losses. And they will probably lose that fight eventually. Oh, but over here, with very few archers remaining, the Greenwatch Garrison footmen were able to be committed. Going to get attacked now by some Castimir's Rangers and some Naru and our Sentinels. However, there is still one unit of the Castimir's Rangers here. Nope, it's out of ammo. So yeah, that's definitely why he committed his pikes here. So late game, yeah, pikes as an attacker can do pretty well. However, they took so many losses early game, I don't know if they'll be able to come back from it. Grey Company trying to do its bit, as well as some Minotaur Roman Guardians. Looks like the Hearthguard of Amansul are out of ammo. Oh, and the second unit of Talon Knights, down to only 4 men remaining. Ooh, things are really looking even over here. Ooh, but Tharbad Warhammer's down to 7. Dismounted Knights of Numinos down to 34. And there is still another unit of Castimir's Legion, and in the center, looks like they still do have a lot. Yeah, they still have a ton of units remaining in the center. Oh, but over here, the cavalry of Gondor actually proven to be of a little bit worth. There's the second unit of Talon Knights. I'm crazy. Anyway, yeah, it looks like the cavalry of Gondor was able to actually be somewhat effective once they were able to break through one line here, or one flank here. They were actually able to go around the flank here and able to rear charge into the Castimir's Legion there. So that actually was not a bad move there. That was actually a very, very smart move, honestly. It still was probably a little bit overkill to bring so much cavalry, but still, at least it was able to do something. Haven Guard Carrion marksman. Ooh, catapult coming in though. Looks like it was targeting the Gondor cavalry. Yeah, Castemer's Legion taking a lot of losses now. He needs to pull out his cavalry and try to keep and just try to keep charging. Ooh, cavalry taking a lot of losses to the catapult now. He needs to pull out. And this Carrion marksman will be quite important now, I think, at taking out, or attempting to take out these 2 units of Naru and Naru Sentinels. But there are still Rangers, there's still Naru and Naru Royal Guard, and there's still the 2 units of crossbows, as well as the 2 units of Blackguard. Not too many frames remaining, I guess. Just about 10,000. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. I thought for sure J-Monster's General would have died by now, but no. His, Naru and Naru Royal Guard still at 20 after getting some support from these Aberzanim Nardubawid. We're able to take out most here of the Troll Slayers. Dismounted Dunedain Knights pulling out from that fight there and instead going to come over here. Oh, and the Naru and our Royal Sentinels of J-Monster rushing forward here, going to try to silence these Minotaur Roman Guardians. And wow, that charge was actually pretty deadly, honestly. Taking out a pretty good portion of those crossbows. He needs to pull out with his crossbows. I mean, these crossbows are good in melee, but he needs to pull them out because they are a very important piece to his remaining forces. And over here we've got some Greenwatch Garrison footmen trying to do their best against the Corsair Pikes and the Numenorean Shield Guard here. More archers coming over here to help out. So yeah, things looking pretty even, honestly. Grey Company also still trying to do its bit. And over here we've got the General's Bodyguard of Thorn, the Hearthguard of Amansul. Looks like they're going to try to go after the Castamere Rangers. Castamere Rangers are out of ammo now, so it's not going to be a huge deal if he takes them out. And he does have to be careful of those Castamere's Legion up there. Because if he loses his general, that's going to be very bad, especially because he's playing as Cardovan. Ooh, a rear charge from the Dunedain commanders was able to do a good amount of damage here to the Naru and Naru Sentinels. But you can see he did take a lot of losses there just because of the fact that those pikes are very good. Grey Company actually coming up here now. It should be okay, I guess? Well, no, because there's still 11 Naru and Naru Guard. You can see the general right there in the middle. But, yeah, against the Naru and Naru Guard, the Grey Company will take a lot of losses, so he should be careful here. He could lose his general. You can see the general might be... Yeah, his general is already a little bloodied up, it looks like. Over here we've got Dunedain commanders chasing down some of the Castamere's Rangers. And that unit of Castamere's Legion going to try to retreat to the city center. Not wanting to for the same fate as these Castamere's Rangers, who are just getting run down now by the cavalry. And it looks like this fight is pretty much under the control of the attackers. Just got to deal with the remaining shield guard, and then up here with the remaining archers. And of course the 9 Naru and Naru Royal Guard. Over here the fight has not yet begun. We got the crossbow corsairs who are reloading now. They will be able to do a ton of damage to whatever they do decide to target. We'll see what they're shooting at here. Oh, nope. They did not fire. Oh yeah! What do you know? I said, against the elite spears over there, they will take losses, the Grey Company. Canvas Marksman trying to go into range. Yeah, that's... I mean, honestly, I would say that would be bad, but because of how few troops that Thorn has left over, I don't think it's going to be a huge issue. I can't even see the Royal Guard anymore. Oh, I think I saw one. So, I mean, there's somewhere... Yeah, there's 6 of them left. Aragorn is still alive as well, so that's always kind of cool. Oh, but he's going to the front line. He's going to fight some spears. Some elite spears at that too, so not going to be a very good choice for him. Dismounted Knights of Adumnos over here will be able to deal with these remaining Aberzan and Nardubawid. So it's just really a matter of time over here. Ooh, and look at that. All of the Castamere's Rangers got ran down. by the Dunedain commanders. And over here looks like the Dunedain commanders were trying to get a charge off on the Casimir's Legion. And we're able to take out, like, what, so 20 of them maybe? No, not even that. Like 13 or 14, but they take a lot of losses. He should keep trying to charge. Especially because there's not any spears over here. There's just archers. So he could waste a lot of the ammo. And he could actually do a pretty good amount of damage. So I do think he should not run away, because the lances would be able to do a lot of damage to the Casimir's Legion and Narduzagar over here. Oh, wait, no. I was going to say, that is unfortunate to see pikes fighting against cavalry, but no, he was actually going after these crossbow corsairs here, so not bad, but he needs to pull out there. That's his general right there. That is his general fighting against some pikes. And Gandalf. There goes a lot of his troops, and Gandalf died. You know what, Gandalf? You kind of deserved that, man. You charged straight into an elite pike unit. I think you kind of deserved that. So yeah, a lot of the cavalry going down there. Looks like a lot of the Canada's marksmen have also been taken out. Only 9 in that unit and 46 in the other. Oof. Yeah, I definitely... Well, no, I won't say. Yeah, Naru and Naru Sentinels at 93. The other unit is still at 94. Blackguard, no, I thought that was Blackguard, but no, it's Naru and Naru Royal Guard moving forward now. Going to try to skirmish down the few remaining Carandrus marksmen, and they will be able to do that very effectively. But yeah, see, the Casimir's Legion just sitting here. The cavalry would be able to do a good amount of damage there.
Dead. Without their general, they may lose heart.
There goes J Monster's general. Looks like he was one of the last ones to die, actually, of that whole like group fight. Yes, in fact, he was. He looks like he was like pretty much the last guy to die. So that's kind of cool, actually. Yeah, the attacker is very, very whittled down by now. Very few in numbers and very weak, but they're not going to give up without a fight. Minotaur Roman Guardians marching forward, going to try to get some volleys off on the Casimir's Legion, maybe. But there are some crossbow corsairs coming forward as well, and just the numbers of the crossbow corsairs will be able to win them a skirmish fight against the Minotaur Roman Guardians. Well, reloading. We'll see if they get a good volley off or not. Oh, yes, they were. They're doing a pretty good job there. But again, with the shields and good armor, the Casimir's Legion are not going to take a ton of damage. And over here, the pikes, of course, still very healthy. Casimir's Rangers doing their good job. Oof, yeah. Citadel Guard and Elsar's Vanguard just getting no mercy there. Carandra's Marksman out of ammo. And over here, we've got some Talon Knights. I think there are some Haven Guard around here as well, yeah. But unfortunately for the Haven Guard, they're probably going to be fighting against pikes, and so they will die very quickly without getting very many kills in return. And the Crossbow Corsairs now going to be in range of the Minotaur Roman Guardians, and this will probably be the end of these poor Cardolan crossbows here. Just because of how many numbers. Oh, look at that. Those arrows actually look pretty much the same as the Blackshot Dragon Slayers. I know looks don't, of course, mean anything in terms of stats-wise, but still, Minotaur Roman Guardians is just going to take horrible losses to that. Fire. Oof, ouch. Ouch. Just going straight through their bodies. What happened to the Dunedain captains? Is what I wonder. Were they committed like early on? Oh, actually, there still are some Wardens of Turn Gorthad. That's a pretty good pike unit. Should be able to go toe-to-toe with the Naru and Naru Sentinels at least for a while. Grey Company going to try to get a charge off on the Casimir's Legion. Being horse archers, they have not a good charge, but they should do okay, I guess. Aragorn is still alive. Yeah, you can see that charge was pretty weak, but oh, we've got the AP charge coming in there from the Dunedain commanders. Going to retreat because they want to do as much damage as possible. Ooh. Ow. Those poor Minotaur Roman Guardians just getting absolutely slaughtered. Slaughtered by those crossbow Corsairs. 15 Abrazenum Nardutaric. And here comes some more Castamir's Legion that have not even seen fighting yet. Narduzagar over here. Oh yeah. Citadel Guard, Elisar's Vanguard, Talonites, and Spearmen all fighting against pikes. That's not going to be a good fight for them. And Narduzagar coming up in support. There are also 2 units here of the Naru Royal Guard. Yeah, honestly, I think this is going to be a victory for the defenders. Because the attackers don't really have much left, honestly. I mean, actually, Arthedain still has a okay amount. He's got some spears here. He's got some men-at-arms. Cardolin, surprisingly, is kind of sitting back. I guess he doesn't want to get shot by the crossbows, but it's going to happen, honestly. There's not really anything he can do to avoid it. Oh, and here come the Blackguard. The Blackguard that I'm not going to take. Oh, and you can see over the hill there, the pikes marching menacingly forward. Just coming over the hill. That actually looked really cool.
If we continue like this, we will smash the enemy.
And the volleys from those crossbows just going straight into those spears, who stand no chance to that kind of fire. Yeah, the Arthedain men-at-arms actually just going to instantly rout. The Fornos Terrain defenders will probably follow suit. Yes, in fact they did. So that will probably be the end of this battle. You can see there's not many frames left. Only about 5,000. It's probably going to be Thorn kind of just making the last stand, honestly. Because you can see Gondor and Dol Amroth over here kind of just getting butchered. I mean, they're actually doing surprisingly well against the pikes over here, just probably because of how elite their forces are, but they really don't stand a chance, honestly. Elisar's Vanguard down to 12. Talonite's still pretty healthy. The Tier Wardens are alright. And the Haven Guard are still very healthy, but again, against pikes and being unsupported, they will take losses. Oh, Gondor Cavalry trying to go into the Spearmen here, but again, they're very elite spears, so the Gondor Cavalry will get absolutely butchered without any mercy whatsoever. And the Crossbow Corsairs just giving no mercy at all to the Cardolin forces. Well, I think it'll be pretty, since Cardolin isn't really doing anything over here, I think it's pretty safe to just be able to stay over on this side of the fight, at least for the time being. Haven Guard might be about to go into the fight, maybe not. Here, I'll speed it back up a little bit again. Not super fast, but a little bit. Oh, yeah. Casimir's Rangers firing straight into the flanks of these units. Going to do a ton of damage. Haven Guard pushing forward as well. Oh, yeah, the poor spears. The poor spears. The body piercing is unforgiving. Absolutely unforgiving. And, yeah, the Corsair Blackguards now also going to be equally as unforgiving. We've got the Narduzagar maybe going to go into the fight as well. Haven Guard have been committed, and you can see against the pikes, they're just getting, they're just having a horrible time there, just because of their very much shorter range. Over here, looks like the defenders are deciding to kind of sally forth. Unsupported Hearthguard of Amansul, just kind of getting cut off from their allies, going to go down very quickly. You do have the Wardens of Turngorth over here, though, taking some catapult fire as well as some skirmish fire. And we actually got the Dunedain commanders were able to get in with the crossbow corsairs to at least silence them for the time being, but looks like the crossbow corsairs are going to be able to retreat. They actually fight with 2 harpoons, it looks like, so that's actually very cool. They actually use their arrows, or bolts rather, in both their crossbows and in melee. So that's kind of interesting. Wardens of Turngorth down to 73 before even getting into the fight, just because of all the skirmish fire. Hearthguard down to 27. It looks like this is pretty much just going to be a last stand now on 2 fronts. So honestly, the attackers just kind of ran out of steam. I think there was, being honest, I think there was kind of a lot of mistakes on the part of the attackers, and really not really kind of any, honestly, on the part of the defenders. I mean, obviously there were, but just not a lot of major ones, I think. And I think the army comps of the attackers were kind of subpar. All the spearmen, I think, really did, really was a big toll, I think, on the overall feel of the battle. Especially for Dolamarth bringing 5 units of spears, and he wasn't super proactive at using them to shield wall push through. Oh, but over here we've got a gallant charge here from the Gandalf's retinue bodyguard going into the catapult crew, but there are some pikes over here, so the bodyguard will probably go down unless they kind of pull out of there as quickly as possible. But no, it looks like they are not going to do so. They're just going to do a last stand against pikes. This is basically just, you know, being paper fighting against rock. There's just no chance. Crossbow Corsairs now not being attacked anymore. They can be free to fire. Wardens have turned Gorthad down to 25, Hearthguard down to 12, and that's pretty much going to be up for Cardalin. And so I think I can go ahead now and speed it up.
Good tidings. The enemy
because there
general
goes
lies dead.
the Cardalin General. No, that's not why. That just happened to be at the same time. Okay, the Trebuchet actually is here as well. Put up to 2 times for now. Actually, I can run about 6 times. Yeah, honestly, I think it was actually a really fun battle. It looked really cool. I actually really like this map a lot. There's tons of different ways to go about defending and attacking it. I just think there was quite a few mistakes on the side of the attackers. But honestly, I thought it was a really good battle. I really did enjoy commentating over it. There goes the Gondor General. And there goes the... There goes the Dolamarth General. And it looks like that will pretty much be just about it for this video. And it wasn't actually too terrible in terms of percentage. I mean, that's after healed casualties. But anyway, J-Monster easily getting the most kills. He actually doubled both of his allies in terms of kills. The most kills for the attackers went to Eclipse 2,500 with 1,400. Thorn was just slightly behind him as well. We can take a quick look at some of the exact kills. Oh, I thought I saw 300, but no, I was just mistaken. Nardu Bawi doing pretty good. Castmir's Rangers doing good as well. The Corsair Infantry actually getting 119 kills. Catapult doing 188 kills as well. And over here, 250 for the Corsair Blackguards. That's got to be... Yeah, J-Monster, I was going to say. Also, whoa, 246 for the Narwinar Royal Guard. 224 for the Rangers. All of his Castamir's Legion did super, super good. The Iberzenum Nardu Tariq also did very good as well. AP really serving them well against a lot of those units. The Belagir Footmen, what? How did they get 150, not 118? Must have been fighting against some pretty low tier units. And then over here we've got the Castmir's Rangers doing good as well as some crossbow Corsairs. But that will pretty much be the end of this video. I hope you guys did enjoy it. Again, big thank you to all of the Reforged team for allowing me to have this opportunity to commentate over it. If you guys did enjoy it, please comment and like and subscribe to the Reforged official channel. If you guys did not like it, just tell me what I did wrong, and I'll be sure to fix it for the next video. So farewell wherever you fare, till your eyes receive you at your journey's end.